Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt. I am with Illinois WorkNet, and today we're going to be talking about customer groups. And I'm going to pull up a poll question real quick, and it's going to ask you, have you used Illinois WorkNet customer groups? And this is something that we are working very diligently to make the best possible tool for you, and we keep adding new things on a regular basis. So let's go back to the presentation, and just as a reminder, if you have any questions or comments, you can type those in the chat pod below that says customer groups. If you want to download and print any of the handouts that I talk about, those are available in the download and print pod. And if you're having challenges hearing me by computer speaker, you are welcome to dial into our conference number at 866-803-3878. All right, Illinois WorkNet Customer Support Center. This is a great way for you to organize your customers in a way that works with your everyday workflow. Today we're going to learn about the benefits of Customer Support Center. We're going to learn how to create an Illinois WorkNet account. If you are a partner, then the next couple sections won't be relevant because you're already a partner, but you will find out how to become a partner if you are with a partner organization, how to create a customer group, and how to use customers' information. The Illinois WorkNet Customer Support Group benefits include the ability for you to access those customers' work readiness information. So, for example, the skills and interest information that they did on Illinois WorkNet, if they have any disability information. You can also view customer assessment results and enter those items. For example, if you give your customers a tape test, you can enter those results in as well. You can provide feedback to customers on their Employment 101 results or on their optimal resume results. You can view outcomes. You can communicate directly with customers by sending them messages. You can access features from special programs, and then you can, the biggest tool probably is assisting a customer with passwords, though those are the one thing that people forget the most often, and if you have access to them in your customer group, you've got the ability to change their password for them. There are 3 different types of customer support center groups: the personal invitation, the IWDS groups, and then any special programs. So, for example, right now we're working on a special program called EPIC, and we use a special version of customer groups for that program. Okay, my mouse is acting up today. There are 4 basic steps to getting into customer groups. First, you have to have an Illinois WorkNet account. You need to become a partner. You need to create a customer support center group, and then you get to communicate with your customers. To log into an Illinois WorkNet account, you do have to create an Illinois WorkNet account. Super simple. You sign up on the form. You fill in the form information with the your name, email, phone number, that kind of stuff. Then you must confirm your email address on your email for you to activate your account. There are directions at the link right there at the bottom of the page, and you will see those also in the download and print pod below. Then you can become a partner. First, you have to make sure that the organization with which you are working is a partner organization, and you need to check the Illinois WorkNet Service Finder for your organization. If it's not already part of the greater database of resources available through the state of Illinois, you want to add your organization. Follow the link below to create a new service referral site, and then you want to make sure to keep your information up to date for your organization, because that is in the greater database for everything across the state of Illinois, for everybody who accesses those resources. Next, once your organization is part of the larger database, the bigger network across the state of Illinois, you want to become a partner. And what we do with this is verify that it is appropriate for you to have groups on the Illinois WorkNet Customer Group tool. So if your site is listed, then you can follow the directions that are on that link or in the handout in the pod that say become a partner with Illinois WorkNet. And then you can find all of the resources that are available to Illinois WorkNet partners in the partner resources that's found in the footer of each page on Illinois WorkNet. If your organization provides services to job seekers or the community, you will want to become a part of this large network of resources so that people can find you as a resource. And as I mentioned before, you want to make sure that you keep that information up to date. Once you have your account and you have been assigned as a partner, then you can access the Customer Support Center by logging into your Illinois WorkNet account. And once you are a partner, you have that extra little icon on your dashboard that says Partner Tools. Once you log into the Partner Tools, you can select customer groups and the Customer Support Center. There's a link on this page that will take you to some information about the Customer Support Center group. Then you'll find out how to create a group. We have another handout there that is talking about inviting customers to your group. Once you get to your group, if you don't see your personal group listed in the list of groups, you will need to create a group. Once you have created your personal group, that Add Group button that's on the screen will disappear. Then, when you want to invite customers to your personal group, you can add those, and there are directions listed on the bottom of that screen and in the file pod. We also have these directions on the pages that help describe the information about the groups. A couple of things that you can do is access additional groups. So for example, if you're part of that EPIC program, or maybe you were part of the ADAM program, we've got a lot of acronyms in the state of Illinois, you can access those groups as well from your groups on your page. Today we are talking about the personal groups, and so we're going to talk a little bit more about how to add subgroups and how to invite customers to your group. And as I said at the very beginning of the webinar, this is a great way for you to organize your personal group, all of your list of many, many customers, into subgroups to help you with your workflow, your everyday workflow, make it easier for you to communicate with those specific customers. When you are in your group, you can send invitations. The customers will accept the invitations to become a part of your group, and then then you can access that customer profile information by clicking on their name in the list of your customers. You can search for a customer, find them, and then access their information by clicking on the blue highlighted information. One of the things that you can do is communicate and provide feedback to your customers. We did mention this a little bit earlier. You get to see all of the public profile information. And while you don't have the ability to change their information, you can help them access their account and let them update address or phone or email information through their own profile. You do get to see their assessment information, and that can include the NOCD, it can include the TABE results, you can see the optimal resume results, you can send them a message, and one of the things that we think is super is the fact for you to be able to reset their password. Maybe it expired or they forgot which one they put, so then you can reset that password for them to help them get back into their group. I'm sorry, get back into their profile. We do have a webinar coming up, and it is going to be talking about more detail about the tools that are in there and how you can use them to work with your customers. So you might want to register for that webinar. Again, this is geared toward partners, and it is available through the Eventbrite site for Illinois WorkNet. That webinar will be on April 5th. Now, let me pull up a profile, or I'm sorry, a little question for you. With your customers, how many of you use each of those resources? We'll give you just a minute to answer those. All right. All right. And now I'm going to go to the last question that I have here. Are there any features that I briefly covered, I am going to go live in just a moment, that you like about the system? All right. All right, let me pull over my screen, and we will go live to the system itself. If you can see my screen, please raise your hand with a little man at the top of the screen. I'm going to clear everybody's status out right now. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right, so what I have done already is logged in. And so I've already signed up. I've already got an account. So I just signed in at the beginning of my day today. And here on my dashboard, I have the ability to click the down arrow and find the partner tools in the bottom of my list. And as you can see, I've got access here to Employment 101. Your customers have access to a number of these tools as well. But until you are designated as a partner, you will not have access to the partner tools. So I click on the partner tools, and right here you see Customer Groups, Customer Support Center. Now I've already added the group for my personal group. So I've got personal group for Dee Reinhardt. And in there I've got a couple of customers. What I've also done is create a couple of subgroups, and you can see subgroup listed, you can see the word subgroup listed right here. So what I did is in my personal groups, I've invited a couple of people. So for the invitation to invite people to your group, all you have to do is click on this invitation tab. And as we're looking at the invitation, you can create a new invitation. You put in a passcode. So I'm just going to give it today's date for the passcode, 03152018. And I'm going to do a title. This is going to be Test Invitation for March webinar. Once I have typed in that, you can change some information in here, but it's not advised to do that. You would then click the Create Invitation. Once you create the invitation, you'll see a little box at the top that says Invitation Created. I click OK. Once I click OK, then the information, I have a link that I can email to people, or I can click here to print invitation business cards. What's useful about this is as you're trying to invite your customers to your group, you can just hand them this card. Then they can log in and set up an account and write down their username and their password, use this code, and it gets them into your group. You can also, let me see if I can go back here to the screen, you can invite them with their email address by clicking on or emailing them the link here in the screen. So once they're in your group, you have a list here that has customers. As you're looking at the customer screen, you can click on the name of the person and then access the information in their profile. This looks very similar to the EPIC group information that we have. When we work with special groups, we develop new tools. And as we're developing those new tools, once we get everything tested and we've made all of the adjustments to make it work wonderfully, we add it to the general workNet platform here for the customer groups. So we've been doing some things. We've got items in the pipeline to add. So this is ever evolving, and it becomes just better and better and better. So getting in now will only give you even more access later down the line. So as we're looking here at the assessments, we have skills and interests, we have disability benefits estimator, we have employment 101, and as you can see, this customer has not done their employment 101. So if you perhaps had given your customer a date to try and complete that information, you see that they have not done either the pre or the post test. We've got NOCTI results. You can see if they did the NOCTI skills, observational evaluation, and worksite evaluation. And then you can enter other assessments that you want to hear. We will be going over this on that webinar on April 5th, so I'm just going to cover these briefly. The one other piece that, well, actually the two other pieces that are wonderful are the fact that you can send this customer a message. And if you want to type a message into the content pod, you can then either send it as a message only, or you can send it as a message and an email. So that's a great tool. I'm only going to save it as a message. And it tells you that the message was sent. The other thing that you can do, big tool right here, is reset the password. So as you're resetting the password, you can put in the new password and send that out for the customer. If you happen to have them on the phone, let them pick their own password that they want to use, and then you just type it in there. Then back to the groups. If I want to add a customer to a specific group so that I can keep track of what they're doing, maybe I've got a specific report I have to do. I can have a group training for spring 2018. I can add a customer to this group. So I can pick from my big list and add them to that group. And customers can be in as many groups as you want them to be in. Now, let's go back and add a subgroup. So if I want to add another group, I can click in here. Oh, sorry. This is how you can learn more about it. I want to be in my group, and I click on the subgroups, and I can add a subgroup. I can name this Friday Resume Writing Group. So anybody who's in my Friday resume writing class, I can add them to a group. I do need to enter a description that is required. So I do need to spell words right. And if you've got different people starting at different times, you might want to add a date to the title there. And then I can save that group. The subgroup was created. And then I see here what my different subgroups are. Once I click on that group, again, I can add customers from my list, or I can add a customer as long as they've given me permission. I can add those customers. So this is a great set of information that you can use to help with your customers and your information. All right, let's move to our closing panel. And I see a couple of questions that are totally off topic from Mirage, and I'm not seeing anything that applies to the customer groups. So we're ignoring all of those. And if you can, please answer our other questions here on the poll. We would appreciate the feedback for our webinar. Again, you can download any of the handouts here, print them. They're also available on the web pages that are listed in your PowerPoint. And we hope that you will register for the April 5th so that we can give you a little bit more information about how to use the different tools that are available on the assessment page. I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we hope that you are able to enjoy using the customer groups. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.